And we back here for another episode on Frankly Football. I'm Brandon.
Set it off, Chris, as we would be called, man. We the Shaq and Penny of the game. You know what I'm saying? Coming and doing our thing.
We ain't Shaq and Kobe yet, but Shaq and Penny was almost
there. We Shaq and Penny. You know, the young thin Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Before he started eating steaks and then not working out all the time.
The Shaq that was giving it to Kareem Olajuwon. You know.
Ooh, yeah, he was. Yeah, but King was giving him that work. But that's another topic.
Yeah, another YouTube channel.
That's another day. That's another day.
But the reason that we're here today, the thing that we have been hearing a lot in the offseason after the Dallas Cowboys forgetful 8-8 season is that Amari Cooper disappeared on the road.
Absolutely.
So us not being believers of your 3 and 4 letter networks decided to do research, because that's what you should do when you don't trust something. You research it.
Right.
So what we came up with is a situation on the road where Amari Cooper he could have performed well, but there were things that were against him in his own corner. Is that the right way to put it, Chris?
You know what? We're just trying to bust this myth of Amari Cooper just became a shell of himself. He didn't show up anywhere. He turned around on the road, just totally disappeared. And if you look at the first 3 games of the season, Amari Cooper was like a little bit over 250 yards with 3 or maybe 4 touchdowns during that time frame. And of those games, 2 were at home, 1 was on the road. The one road game we're going to look at about 3 or 4 different road games, the ones that just still befuddle us to this day. Right now we're going to look at the Washington game. And the Washington game was the first game where you said, well, where was he at? And we're going to look at where he had an opportunity to get the ball, the times he got the ball, and the times he was pretty much a decoy or the defense shaded away from him, so it made it available for other people to eat. And that's going to be a real theme for this year and years to come, because it's going to be to the point you got to pick your poison. Either you want to die by knife, you want to die by fire, you want to die by drowning. That's what's going to be happening with the Dallas Cowboys with the addition of Cedarian Lamb, with Amari Cooper being the guy he is, and the emergence of the awesome, ever so always open Michael Gallup.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the Washington game. Amari Cooper had I won't say pedestrian. He had a serviceable game, 4 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown.
Right.
Now, we also have to mention he only had 5 targets, so he only missed 1 ball.
So 5 targets, 4 catches, 44 yards, and a tub.
That's
and you
right.
won that game by double digits.
Absolutely.
Won that game by double digits.
And here's the thing. We didn't know who Michael Gallup was at that point in time, but he was fed the ball. And I can't say we didn't know. We knew he was a good receiver, but we didn't know that he was an 1,100-yard guy that he was at the end of the year. He was fed the ball and had a great day. 6 catches and 68 yards.
Right.
And on 8 targets, that's a 75% catch rate. Great.
But it really got to the point of you make the right play. The right play is throw the ball to the guy who's open.
Absolutely.
We have seen in the past under the Jason Garrett regime of force feeding certain guys. Hey, it's your turn. We're gonna force you the ball. You're the number 1 receiver, and so that what ends up happening. And so what people take in the league of seeing other receivers, you'll see a guy like Michael Thomas with like 130, 140 targets or 130, 100 plus catches. Well, he's the only receiver they have. He's the only receiver they trust.
That's right.
But when you turn around, you have a collection of top flight receivers. You got a 1, you got a 1A. You have the opportunity to throw to either side, and you're going to get production.
That's right. And you mentioned that a lot of guys will force feed their guys. We're about to go into the first play of this game in Washington.
Right.
Where we didn't see Amari Cooper's first reception or even first target until the second quarter in the game.
Wait a minute. So you're saying your number 1 receiver didn't receive an attempt until the second quarter?
Second quarter in the game.
Right. So most other teams, if you had that happen, that guy, he's vanished. He's getting blanketed. No, the Cowboys were to the point at that point in the game, they were winning the football game. They would really try to take control of the football game, and you could spread the ball around. And Washington said in their mind, we're going to go ahead and cover him a certain kind of way, and let's see what happens with Michael Gallup. As you can see, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. So we're gonna bring up the play, and we're gonna see what happens. So we're gonna start just like we said, second quarter of the game.
Right.
And here's Amari Cooper's first target. So as you can see, 13 minutes, 39 seconds left.
Right. So on that play, if you look at it, it's four wide. It's 10 personnel. You got one tight end in the game.
That's right.
And you end up turning around on this play. You want to get it to Michael. You want to get it to Amari Cooper. But to be totally honest with you, the play really should have went to Michael Gallup.
Absolutely.
Should have went to Michael Gallup.
And this is a situation where you want your guy to have gotten heated up a little bit.
Absolutely, by this time.
With receivers, you want to pepper them a little bit. Like we season our food. You want to season the food a little bit with the salt, the pepper.
You want to get a little pepper. You don't want it too salty. You don't want it with too much pepper. But you want to get, just get, okay, do I need to add more pepper? But I need to get some pepper on it.
Absolutely.
And you're going into the second quarter, 13 minutes. You got, you've gone almost 17, 18 minutes into the game, and you have not targeted your number one receiver.
Absolutely. So this is a situation where the guy was not in form at this point in time. Even if you get him two incomplete passes, one incomplete pass in the
get him a target early.
Absolutely.
But you turn around on this play, the placement of the ball was Dak could have thrown it a little bit more towards his outside shoulder.
Absolutely.
Gives him a better chance at it where the receiver can't come back through him. But really on this play, he wasn't the guy you should have went to. You should have went to Michael Gallup, who was wide open. Wide open.
But we have to give Cooper his credit for he got a perfectly legal push off, didn't get full extension on the hand.
Right.
And the ball just wasn't there. And he wasn't primed for success at this point in the game.
Absolutely.
So we see, there are factors in Cooper's own corner. This is his coach that is scheming the game that just aren't putting him in position to succeed. Contrary to what the mainstream media, mainstream sports media would say. They would say, oh, he should have been open. Well, we're also going to show plays where he was open, was available, but there were just factors that caused him to not get the ball, such as other guys getting the ball, Michael Gallup having a hot day, things like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
You turn around in that time frame. That's what I'm saying. We go back to where one of our favorite terms we use here on Frankly Football is what coaching matters.
That's right.
Coaching matters. And you had a infighting with Sanjay Lal and your number one receiver. He sees the progression and the growth of Michael Gallup because you got to remember, Michael Gallup was his guy from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
So he was going to lean to Michael Gallup. He got Michael Gallup from the offseason, his rookie year. He doesn't see Amari Cooper to game 8 or 9, and Amari Cooper comes on and opens it up a lot more for Michael Gallup. But he thinks Michael Gallup and himself can be a number one receiver.
Absolutely.
And let's be totally honest. I love Michael Gallup, but there's a difference between taking on the top corner and dealing with your second corner.
Absolutely. We've seen plenty of guys.
We've seen a lot of guys go through that progression. Right.
And then go somewhere and be the number one guy.
They go be the number and they turn around like he was the number one guy. And that's what ends up happening.
Absolutely. So what we're gonna go to next. As you can see, that was not a catch by Amari Cooper. The next play isn't even a catch as well. We're just showing different situations as for reasons why Cooper didn't have a lot of hot games, particularly on the road.
Right.
So this is still in the second quarter.
Right.
First and 10 at the Dallas 36 with 7 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock.
Okay.
All right, so let's bring this up and run it. We'll let the play run, and then we'll talk on it. Now, you see here, Cooper at the bottom of your screen.
Right.
Alongside the declining Jason Witten. And I'm actually sorry. That was
That's Michael Gallup.
At the bottom of the screen.
Right.
Let's go here. Okay. Here we go.
Oh.
As you see, Cooper was open at the top of your screen.
Right.
Gallup was having a great day.
Absolutely.
So these are mirroring routes. If we stop right here, Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup are in the exact same place, have adequate space on both of their defenders, and Michael Gallup just so happened to get the ball. Michael Gallup had gotten the ball the play before this, so we see that they're just leaning on the hot guy.
Whoever's got the hot hand, feed it to the hot hand. He's
Absolutely.
open. Back in the day when you would play NBA jams, they would say, he's on fire.
That's right.
You want to feed it. Right.
So I'm not mad at this play. Amari Cooper's still doing Amari Cooper things. Look, there's 3 yards between him and the DB. The DB doesn't have his body momentum is leading away.
Away.
Absolutely. If we run this right here, look, the DB still has to settle his body before he would have even attempted to try to come back to Coop.
Right. So either way it was going to be a positive play. But Michael Gallup, he was on the point of feeding Michael Gallup that day.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. The ball just didn't go Cooper's way, but we're not going to sit here and keep pretending like Amari Cooper just disappeared.
Or lack of
effort.
Absolutely.
Some plays, the ball just didn't go to him.
Absolutely.
So we got to dispel those myths. That's what we're here today. This is going to be a part of this series called Mythbusters.
Yeah, you got to bust the myths.
Absolutely.
You got to give the vaccine to the I Am Legend monsters so that they can be able to get healed from this virus, man.
That's right.
If you don't give them the vaccine for the Crippen virus, they're gonna walk around here and just start mutating again, man.
That's right.
And biting folks. Biting more folks, saying Amari Cooper vanished on the road. Dak Prescott is terrible. Ezekiel Elliott isn't elite. And it just spreads, man.
Like a virus.
So I'm just out here we just trying to do our part, B.
Absolutely.
We're just trying to do our part in the community, man, to keep Cowboy fans from just sounding just
hopeless.
Stupid.
Hopeless.
just
hopeless.
Just dumb. Makes no kind of sense.
But check this out. Here's where we at next. This is actually the play beforehand.
Right.
Still in the second quarter. 2nd and 9 with 8 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game. This is the play that I initially thought I was watching, but we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We produce them on the go. But here
we're good to go, man. We fine.
Second quarter.
Oh yeah.
2nd and 9, 8 minutes and 13 seconds. I want you to pay attention to the bottom of the screen. Here's Amari Cooper. And I will pause it here. Now, once again, Amari Cooper, bottom of your screen, you see 3 guys, 3 zones dedicated to covering your number.
To him.
Absolutely.
Right, 3 guys. Right.
So this isn't Amari Cooper disappearing. This is the defense taking extra precautions in order to ensure that they don't die by him.
Absolutely.
They will die by Michael Gallup before they die by Amari Cooper. It just so happens that that's what they did. They chose that death, and so that's how they died. But there's zero lack of effort here on Amari Cooper. He didn't just stop running once he noticed the safety drop down on him or a linebacker drift over in his zone towards him. He's still there and putting in effort. But what we see is the defense making a concerted effort to stop him.
Absolutely. And you can even see the safety up top of they're chasing Jarwin. He still got his eyes peeking down inside to see if Amari Cooper catches the ball.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and run that in the slow-mo. Yep. The DB's eyes right here are still directly on Cooper. And we see Michael Gallup once again. This is the play directly before the last play. We see Michael Gallup eating as a result.
Absolutely.
So, once again, we have to dispel these myths. Dak Prescott is just making the correct plays here.
The right play.
Absolutely.
If they're gonna shift the zone over towards the right side where Amari is, I'm gonna throw to the left. If they shift it over to the left side where Amari is, I'm gonna throw it to the right. So by him doing that, we show a play later where we show, I think it's in the third quarter. With 11, I think it's 11, either the third quarter with 11 and 10 minutes left, where all of that is almost like it's like Novocaine. If you've ever been to a dentist, they give you Novocaine and they say it gives you time for it to go ahead and take effect.
That's right.
They shoot you. It's not immediate, but over time you feel it, and next thing you know, your mouth's numb for 2-3 hours because it's what wore in. And so what ends up happening over time, you've been getting hit with Michael Gallup. You've been getting hit with Cobb. In this game, you got hit by Devin Street. In this game, you got hit by Blake Jarwin. And then, boom, in the third quarter, I think with third quarter, 11 minutes and 10 seconds, you see a beautiful sit down by Amari Cooper.
Absolutely. We're going to play that in just a moment. First, we're going to play the first offensive play of the third quarter.
Gotcha.
So first and 10, 15 minutes left.
Gotcha.
And we're going to see exactly what goes on here. So one moment to allow me to pull that up. And here we are.
Just right out the half. It's funny because me and the wife, we went to this game. We was out there trying to keep them burning up. And we came back and Dak was over here just doing work.
Absolutely. So if you noticed, Amari Cooper immediately available. Immediately available.
Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. Brandon, pause it. Look at the bottom. You got press coverage on Michael Gallup on the bottom. Man-to-man press coverage at the bottom.
Absolutely. So by this point, Michael Gallup has earned the defensive respect.
Absolutely.
And they're giving Amari Cooper 10 yards of space. That's going to get you killed every single time, as we see here. It gets you 8 yards. But Michael Gallup, as a result of Amari Cooper being, what's the word I'm looking for, blanketed for the first half, and not even getting the ball looked his way until the second quarter.
Right.
We see the defensive coordinator saying, "Oh, wow, this Gallup guy's killing us. Let's put our hands on him a little bit at the line."
Right.
So we see that here on this play. I'll back it up a little bit, let the play start over. And once again, 10 yards on Amari Cooper, one of the most nuanced route runners in the league. You're gonna get killed every single time. So Cooper runs up about 5 yards, instant cutback. And the ball is released and waiting for him right there. You give him a couple yards of space, and he's going to make the most of it. He gets 3 yards after contact.
That's it.
So if you do this, if you let us beat you this way, we're going to constantly do it. And once again, Cooper, this was not for a lack of effort. Cooper wasn't lackadaisical at any point of this game.
No. He pick and chose his spots where he could just go to work. And Dak, being a fourth-year quarterback, says, I'm going to go make the easy play that's right there in front of me to help my team get the results I want. We're moving the chains, we're keeping time possession, and we're moving the ball down the field.
Absolutely. So when you think about these sort of things, Amari Cooper still walked away with 4 targets in the touchdown. 44 yards in the touchdown.
Four targets.
It's not
five targets and 4 catches.
I apologize. I got that incorrect.
That's okay.
Catches, 44 yards and a touchdown. So despite Michael Gallup having a great day, and this was a blowout game in sorts for Michael Gallup. This was him just a way to carry this momentum all the way through the season.
Right.
Even though Michael Gallup showed out, Amari Cooper still had respectable numbers. So next, this is the play that you were talking about. 11 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. This was third down and 4 yards to go. So I'll bring this up. We can check this play out. And like you said, this is a great route for Cooper here. And this is just one of those things that's important for the people to see. Here we are.
Right.
And great vision, great route running, great changing on the fly by Amari Cooper. Yes. I want to start this over from the snap and go in slow motion here. Now, if you notice, the linebacker that was supposed to cover Michael Gallup stuck with him.
Right.
This is Amari Cooper's man. This is the man that's supposed to be covering Amari Cooper.
Right.
At this point, the defense has gotten so scared of Michael Gallup that the DB forgets about your number one receiver.
Absolutely.
And goes on to cover Michael Gallup.
Yes.
And the linebacker then falls back in his zone. Now, that's not the only magical thing here, because this right here is playmaking magic. That's the best way
Right.
for me to describe it. Randall Cobb straight up the seam. Now, what this does is it causes your man in the middle to go and cover him. Randall Cobb ends up getting right there. Now, Amari Cooper's route should have ended up going closely through the numbers. Closely.
Right.
But he adjusted his route to go further in. If you look, you'll see the defensive back bite on Cobb, and Amari Cooper immediately cuts further inside to take advantage of this large piece of
open window. Just open window.
In the middle of the field. And that's because the defense did not.
You nailed it
at that point.
You nailed it. At that point, you've got the linebacker is now turning around. The linebacker who's covering a guy he's not even supposed to be running with. He's not even supposed to be running with him. So he turns around. They're scared. They're scared of the short pass with Gallup. And as you said, Amari Cooper, just being a nuanced route runner, finds the open space, sits down, and makes it a nice, easy throw for Rain Dakota Prescott.
Absolutely.
Pitch and catch right here. That's just perfect pitch and catch.
Pitch and catch. That's the best way to say it. Because there was nobody there that was going to cover him. Dak Prescott just had to, here you go.
Pockets so clean, he's back there eating a sandwich.
Absolutely. And this is one of the things that you have to pay attention to Amari Cooper. Once again, he changed up his route ever so slightly on the fly.
Yes.
That takes nuanced vision, understanding of the defense's holes and where you need to be.
Right.
So that isn't a guy that's disappearing on the road, taking the road games off. That's not a guy who's doing those type of things would not be making these type of adjustments after the snap.
Right. No, because he's a true number one. He's a true number one wide receiver. So he sees how everyone is feeding and how everybody's winning. If you go back and we look at, some of the sideline film that we have an opportunity to see, he's always telling, this is what I need you to do. He said, hey, Michael, when they cover me like this gives you the opportunity to be open here. Hey, when they do this gives this opportunity for me to be here. And when they do that to you, that's going to open up you later. He's so unselfish that he's to the point that when you win, I win. When I win, you win.
Absolutely.
And it makes it the whole team, the cohesiveness of the team flow. Because now Dak can pick and choose across the field with easier throws because he's got smart football players. I remember reading Bill Belichick's book. He said, I will never, ever deal with non-educated or not smart football players. It's harder to teach the game of football because everybody at this level is so extremely talented. But if you're not smart, if you don't have a high football IQ, it makes it extremely hard for us to win. And in that situation right there, Amari Cooper made it a win-win situation. He could have been on the sideline, irate, jumping up and down. I'm not getting the ball like some wide receivers we know do. But he turns around and says, hey, I'm going to pick and choose my spots for the betterment of the team.
That's absolutely right. It's great when you got a lot of unselfish guys. I think Michael Gallup is an unselfish guy. I think he's cut from that same cloth that Amari Cooper is. Right. It's great when your number one guy isn't afraid of a tight end and a receiver both having more targets than him, right, or more receptions than him. It makes your offense a well-oiled machine, and to win in today's game, you need that.
And it also helps. It also helps to the fact of the matter that when the coaches look on film, they can say, guess what? It's not that he's taking games off or he's not working hard. He's going after it. He's doing the things he needs to do to make plays in the game for the team.
Absolutely. We're gonna show Amari Cooper's hard work pay off on our next play. This is just a couple plays after this amazing catch that we just saw. This is in the third quarter on a 2nd and 8 with 10 minutes and 4 seconds left.
Absolutely.
So this is a 10-yard play that resulted in a touchdown. So let's just fast forward this a little bit. And I'm going to start this play. This is from the TV view. I'm going to play this in slow motion from the snap. So as we see here, Amari is putting himself in position right in the middle of the defense. Once he notices that the defensive player isn't necessarily playing man to man on him, he may be floating into a zone, as we see. Mark sits down on his route.
It's a bunch formation on that side. It's Absolutely. A bunch for you got Jason Witten, you got Tony Pollard, and you got Amari Cooper right there. Amari just turns around and says, I'm going to seal through, and I'm just going to sit. Great throw by Dak, and he just puts it where only Amari can get it. If this ball is anywhere else, the DB gets a chance to bat it away. He puts it away, down, low and away. Amari scoops it up, walks in.
Absolutely. And that was a perfect adjustment. Once he saw that the DB was floating towards Tony.
Yes, that's right.
And I got to clap golf.
Yeah, you got to get your opera clap on for that, because that's Absolutely. Beautiful. It's beautiful recognition by your fourth-year quarterback, the leader of your football team.
Absolutely.
He looks and says, okay, I got a mismatch here. Witten's going to go. Witten is taking all day to get to the inside, so I'm definitely not looking at him. Tony Pollard's floating to the outside. Amari sits down in the zone. Let me put the rock on him and give me 6.
Now, one thing I do want to point out, like you said, Dak put this ball perfectly where it needed to be.
Right.
The ball, we thought that it was really close, but if you let this play out, you really got to see how many feet there are. This was maybe 1.5 yards away from the DB's hand, even after the dive.
Yes.
So this was a perfectly thrown ball by Dak. Once again, very, very pleased with it. Very pleased with it. And like this makes the entire game pay off for Amari Cooper, because like you said.
Right. And this was a progression. Like I said, like Novocaine, it was a progression. All day long, we were leading to this point. We were leading to the point where this was going to end up happening for Gallup, was going to happen for Amari, which was going to happen with Blake, because I had spread the ball all over the field, and the defense is now wondering who's going to kill me.
Absolutely.
Who's going to be the guy to hurt me? And
Absolutely.
that's what ended up happening.
And that's what caused the bleeding to keep going. That's why they got gashed by Cooper and other players. But that is why the bleeding wouldn't stop, and that's why we won by double digits this week.
Yeah, it's almost like to the point, some of y'all listen to us here. Y'all play dominoes, right? And they say, I'm gonna nick him, but I ain't gonna cut him. Hit him with a 5, bow. I'm gonna hit him with another 5, bow. I'm nicking him, but I ain't gonna cut him. And when a man nick you enough, you bleed out.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happens.
Absolutely. And eventually you smack that chip down, and everything explodes. The table might even fall apart.
That's right. That's it.
But everything wasn't all smiles in this game. I can say that much.
Right.
The next play that we're about to show is close to the end of the game, to where we can see where Cooper did have his shortcomings as well, because this is in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Let's see, with 37 seconds left.
Yes.
And let's see here. And what we're going to see here is Amari Cooper missing on a block per se.
No, not missing. That's you real kind, BH. You kind to people, man. That's one of your attributes, man. You're really kind to folks. He totally whiffed on this block. Whiffed to the point where what he had to do was cause a penalty by grabbing the guy.
Absolutely.
Because he didn't get over. Even if he would have shield blocked, it would have been enough to spring the running back for the touchdown.
Absolutely. And I did say fourth quarter. I meant to say third quarter. This is the third quarter with 37 seconds left.
Right.
At the Washington 3. So this is goal line situation.
Yeah, you're up by 7. You Absolutely. Put this game away right here.
Absolutely. So I'm going to play this in slow motion because we see Cooper motion towards the line of scrimmage, towards the offensive line, and set up shop right there. And if we play this in regular game speed, you might miss it. The
refs didn't.
Yeah, you're right. The refs didn't. The defensive back dives in, and Amari Cooper has to hang on for dear life to avoid getting somebody killed. So it wasn't all smiles in this game. He did have some mishaps. And we'll see here in the coach's view, the cartel view, why exactly this happened. This shows you the pro game speed. because all it takes is one false move, one stutter in the wrong direction, and the guy can be past you.
That's right.
Exactly what happened right here. So if we fast forward here to the snap, Amari Cooper makes one stutter step for the outside, and that gives the DB just enough time to dive by him, make a dive right toward eventually Ezekiel Elliott. But if Amari Cooper didn't hold him, that could have been a blown up play.
No, he doesn't. If Amari, go back, if Amari just shield blocks him, the play is sealed off on the backside. Look, go back right here. Stop it right there. If you shield block right here,
Absolutely.
Cousin Tony he's already gone. 20's not even in the play.
Absolutely.
20 throws his hands up because he's beaten so badly. But if Amari instead of making a step going forward, but makes a side step just to shield block him, just to get in the way, brother Tony is up and through the hole for a touchdown. Go and run it.
That's right. So I'm gonna run this at regular speed now. Just let it see. Once again, if you don't play it in slow mo, you might miss it.
You might miss it. But even if he just slides and gets in his way, Tony's already up and through the hole and he's gone.
Absolutely.
And so it was really they threw a flag because it's holding on every play, but that was so egregious because he spun him because he wasn't even in the play. He wasn't in a position to shield block him. So it made it to look like it could go either way. It was just a piss poor play on Amari's part. But that helps you understand he's not perfect. He don't walk on water. But when it comes to being a nuanced route runner, ultimate team guy, and being a guy who shows up day in and day out on the road and off the road, we're going to blow that myth up. We got a couple more games we're going to look at. We're going to bring to you and help open this up. So when you're sitting at the water cooler, as always, and you're talking to that guy that's talking about, oh, man, you should have never paid Amari Cooper $20 million. He ain't better than Michael Thomas. He ain't better than Julio Jones. He ain't better. You have the proper required vaccine to inoculate an eye-legend monster. We're helping you here. We're out here doing service to the community in a pandemic where the Rona is running crazy. We out here killing the Rona and our legend monsters.
This your prescription. That's
our
exactly
job,
what this
man.
is.
That's our job. We should get medals for this. We should get medals for this.
Somebody got to do the work. Somebody has to do the work
for the people.
And that's what we're doing here. Because this isn't going to be the first video the last video on this topic that we're going to do. We are here to dispel myths and prove exactly why we believe that the Cowboys will succeed.
Absolutely.
So, Chris, in summary, do you think that this was a game where Amari Cooper disappeared or took the week off?
No, I don't think it was a week where he took any time off. I think he was just really continuing to build on what he did in the first game, which, as we've seen, he was to the point of opening things up for Michael Gallup.
Absolutely.
Now it got to the point where defensive coordinators walked in and said, 2018, Amari Cooper was a killer for us. Let's see if Michael Gallup takes the next step. Remember, he's a second-year wide receiver.
That's right.
He's a second-year wide receiver. Does he have a sophomore slump? And since he doesn't have a sophomore slump, he does the things you expect him to do. Michael Gallup has the second game of the season, and he starts to show the emergence of a 1,100, 1,200-yard receiver that's going to be a problem for the whole year.
That's right. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I feel like this game was all about progressions because Amari Cooper started off slow, not due to his own errors. He just wasn't planned into the early game plan by coaching. And then as the game goes on, he takes advantage of that.
Yes.
He put himself in prime position to succeed due to the defense not seeing much of him.
Right.
And, like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until you get hit in the mouth.
Till you get hit, man.
That's
Till you feel them things on you.
And that's what Amari Cooper did.
And that's what ends up happening. That's it.
Absolutely. So, like I said, this will not be the last part of this series. We're going to do more videos talking about Amari Cooper and his home versus road splits. So please stay tuned to us. Hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Comment so we can talk about you. Whether it's good things that you say or whether it's bad things that you say, so we can laugh about you.
That's right.
But
because we're here as a community to open this thing up and to help educate people to the point of being past what they get from mainstream. We want you to really dig down deep into the film, understand the different nuances of football so that you're just a more informed football player. Because, you know, at Frankly Football, that's what we're all about.
That's
BH
right.
is here to help you. Set it off, Chris. I'm here to help, and we're going to help get you where you need to get to, man.
That's right. We're here to teach you.
That's it.
And we're here to be taught as well, because that's
Absolutely.
all research is. That research is us being taught. So we
That's right.
in this together.
That's
But,
it.
you know, this has been another episode of Frankly Football. You know, I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm Brandon.
I'm set it off, Chris.
That's right. Hey, we've been great. Peace.